this afternoon.
Now for to say NPP for now say NPP ni any NDC ni ekwa who NPP ni we are giving the EC 1 week subject. The EC must come and declare our candidate if the NDC led by Mahama Yariga will not be reasonable, no much as Ablekuma North, based on all the evidence available, they will no more margins on to trust something will continue. You are not going to allow the EC to correct. Now, we will continue to demonstrate.
So that's the Member of Parliament for Nsoma Dreji, Annoh Dompreh. Let's get some legal backings into all this. A constitutional lawyer, Paul Kumi, has joined us on the line. Counsel, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time tonight on 505.
Anyway, good evening.
Does this statement qualifying for inciting violence, which is a criminal offense?
Of course it is. But before I go on, the gentleman who came to speak for the NDC,
Madi,
has done the NDC group a great disservice.
How?
You see, when you're angry, unfortunately for him, you were leading him to say all manner of things which he ought not to say. And he was following you and was also showing the belligerence. We will do this, we will do that, we will do that. So after you have spoken this way, which also gives indication that you can equally be violent, how will you want the third person to now tell Annoh Dompreh that what he said is as dishonorable as it is even to his person? You see, it is not always a matter of just following the person. We have a saying in Chi, Saudari, number down for Ibi Muntuma, to be candidate. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So, Annoh Dompreh has shown that he is the most dishonorable person. He doesn't have it. Look at this man. Even when there was a problem with his area, he was calling on the president, the then President Akufo-Addo, that they should stop with the transition because there was a problem with his election results. The last time we overheard him telling somebody that he has called him names and that he will deal with him with her. The other day we saw him raising tempest to the extent that tables and others were even what? Turned over. Didn't we see them? Didn't we hear him even go to the extent of saying, Mutitu plugs or no, Mutitu microphone no? You see, so when you are dealing with such a person, you do not have to get angry and make statements which will give indication that you equally have such violent persons even in your group. You keep your cool. All he needed to do was to have just said that, well, Mr. IGP, you know what the gentleman has said. It's incitement. He is telling people to be violent. So kindly call him and deal with him according to law. We can equally handle him, but we aren't going to do it. We know this country is governed by laws, and so we want him to be put in order. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
But if you come and you want to, show the braggadocio, we can do this, we'll do that, this is not party matter, this is not government matter, this is this and that. No. No, he ought not to have spoken this way. But that is not in the list to water down the very irresponsible remarks that a supposed honorable member of parliament is making. Why do these politicians think Ghana belongs to them? Do they think Ghana belongs to them? And you must know that where he made that statement, that is not in the Parliament House. So he can be taken on, put before a court, and jailed. And I want us to see this thing done. So that this kind of nonsense which is going on, people hiding behind politicking and creating unnecessary tension in this country.
Oh, I've lost Mr. Paul Kumi on the line. We'll try and re-establish contact with him. He's talking about him being arrested and jailed. We'll look at the punishment that comes with the inciting violence, which is a criminal offense. But some members of parliament have been reacting to this comment by Annoh Dompreh. We will go back to Parliament also and speak to Havila Kekeli, but I'm told that we've been able to re-establish contact with Mr. Paul Kumi. Mr. Kumi, I lost you there. You were talking about the fact that you want to see action. The member of Parliament arrested and jailed. What is the punishment that comes with inciting violence?
Whatever punishment that comes with incitement, the kind of statements that he made, this is more of an advocacy for party hatred. You are saying if you see an NDC person slagging it, I will say an NPP person, go join the NPP person and beat up the NDC member. That is party hatred. It's an incitement. He is even trying to, as it were, bring discrimination. If you are not in my party, you are an enemy. You know, this hostility, this violence that he is preaching, this is prohibited by law. And to the extent that he said this in outside of parliament, he is just like any Ghanaian who should be arrested and prosecuted and let him go to jail. And then people will begin to learn sense.
But again,
because these things are not good at all. We should not be countenancing these things. We should not be countenancing these things. It is getting too much.
Although he made the comments outside Parliament, he's still a sitting member of Parliament, and
he is a sitting member of Parliament. His immunity is only in respect of things he says in Parliament. Things he says in Parliament. Any other thing that he does outside of Parliament, if it is criminal, he will be sanctioned. So let nobody think that because you call yourself an honorable member of Parliament, if you cause traffic offense, you'll be arrested. It is respect that we give to them. They should not take that respect for granted. It is not a right. It's a privilege that is given to them. So you have somebody who will go and stand somewhere and say that, well, in our district, in our constituency, let nobody be appointed as a DC because you have a DC here already. What kind of foolish talk is this? Sorry for my French, but it is getting a bit too much, and it is high time we ask the police to act and to bring some discipline, because they are beginning to think that they are above the law, so they can just say anything. We are asking the EC, I'm giving you 1 week, come and declare our people, come and declare our candidate as the winner. So if the EC doesn't come to declare your candidate as a winner, what are you going to do? And then you will have called on these people, you will have incited them, and then some empty heads will then be acting on what he has done. What he has told them to do. No. So I will call on the IGP. I will call on the IGP. Please act. IGP, please act. Let this nonsense stop. MPs are not above the law. What he said is not on the floor of Parliament or on the presence of Parliament where he has his immunity.
But can Parliament as an institution, or even Mr. Speaker, act on this matter?
This one is nothing that's happening in Parliament. This is something that's happening outside of Parliament.
But it can be brought on the floor of Parliament for discussion and action.
It can be brought on Parliament for discussion to the extent that somebody is saying that the gentleman is putting the reputation of Parliament in jeopardy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I am saying that is in respect of the privileges and immunities. So you can have one offense which will have various parts by way of charges or offenses charges which will come against you. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, I do.
So that if, for instance, you enter somebody's house and then you even steal, apart from the stealing offense, they can even charge you for trespass.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, he can be handled criminally, under the law, and then in Parliament, somebody can officially make a complaint to the Speaker and say that this is how loosely or how irresponsibly that a supposed member of Parliament has been behaving outside. And so he should also be sanctioned. That can be done.
Can he lose his seat over this matter?
Well, that will depend on the recommendation that will be made. And of course, if by this incitement and other things, the seriousness of it is considered by a particular judge, and he decides that he's going to give him a stiffer punishment, anything can happen. You see, coming back to what I was saying about what the NDC gentleman was saying,
mm-hmm.
You see, he was saying something, and then he even made reference to the Akan language, certain things being said in Akan language, and that he could not have said the same in English or something like that. You see, people who speak fluent and impeccable English are not necessarily intelligent people. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
So you don't debase a particular language. You don't. That's why I'm saying that he should have been listening to himself. You see, so he's allowing this gentleman, who's very irresponsible talk and incitement, to let him also, to drag him into it. But I'm sure that probably after he has listened a bit to the comments we are making here, or probably after he has listened to himself later and we say that no, I might have gone a bit too far, I shouldn't have made such a statement. But coming back to what I said, he does not take out anything from the very irresponsible manner this gentleman is behaving. It is getting too much, and it is high time we stop them. It is high time we stop them. It cannot go on. They can do whatever they want to do in Parliament. They are insulated, they have the immunity, and they can do whatever they want to do. They broke all these things, and they will be telling you the Speaker cannot even suspend. He is supposed to have, restricted himself to the standing orders and all those type of things. Yes. So they have rules and regulations which will circumscribe how they should be dealt with. And that is within the parliamentary ambit. When he steps out of Parliament and he forgets himself and goes on with some of those braggadocio statements which are, sorry my French, and I have to use the word appropriately, such stupid and irresponsible talk, they should be dealt with. They're not above the law. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional, and being a bit harsh. But it is high time we spoke to these people like that. If they were to have acted honorably, we would have kept quiet and given them that privilege. Because, you see, when I am sitting in a bus, and I see you as an honorable member of Parliament, and they get up and give the seat to you. Why? Because you are honorable. You have a certain position which go with it a lot of respect, a lot of esteem. But if you should come out and you forget that such a position goes with such esteem, and with that esteem, you should also show better behavior, because as he said, to whom much is given, much is expected. So if we have given you all those esteem and we call you honorable and give you all the respect, and yet you get out and be inciting people like this, no, it should not happen. And I'm saying the IGP must act.
Well, what to say the action the IGP will take?
The IGP should order for his arrest. He has incited. Did you see people being arrested because of certain how do you call
comments
it, social
they made
media,
on radio and social media,
videos and those things. And I'm saying he would have been protected if he made this statement on the floor of the House or on the premises of Parliament. But he made this thing outside of Parliament. And so he was talking just like any other person. And this is no politics. Someone is, oh, what we were doing was just political. Look, there's nothing like political offense. Offense is offense. To the extent that it is, it is hit by the criminal law or the criminal code, that person should be handled. This one is not just like somebody who said that if somebody became a president, you go and live in Togo, or somebody saying they should pour kerosene or whatever on him and bury him, and then they turn tail and say that, oh no, I was just saying this thing. That was political talk. Yes, we may agree with him, but this particular instance is no political thing. He is telling people to recourse to violence, and such person should not be allowed to just go free.
Okay. Counsel, very grateful for your time tonight.
Same here.
Paul Kumi is a constitutional lawyer. Havila Kekeli is a man in Parliament. He's been speaking to some MPs on the statement by the Member of Parliament for Nsowe Madreju and Minority Chief Whip. Havila, what have the MPs been telling you?
Yes, they've expressed disappointment in the honourable member's statement earlier today, and according to them, one of them has even suggested that the police invite him over the comments that he made.
This is very unfortunate. I'm shocked upon listening to the comments from the minority chief whip, a leader in the House of Parliament, making those comments. I mean, I'm very disappointed in him. Though I know him to be such a person, but I don't know he can go overboard. Telling his party supporters to come together and beat NDC, any NDC person. You see, what about if NDC people also, we also inform our people to also do same? These are Ablekuma seats. We said courts should settle it. They are the people who always tell us to go to court. Now the issue is at court. You see, and even you, the MP in question, pulling your full soldiers together to attack NDC members. Your votes, your election is even still at court. Today you are at court.
It's very, very unfortunate for Honorable Annoh Dompreh to say such a thing.